Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and guess what you guys? We are busting into a world that I am unfamiliar with, that I get a little bit antsy in, but we are just gonna we're gonna full steam ahead into the situation. So here's the deal. A lot of you know, if you've been watching my channel for the last couple of weeks, I have been trying is the key word, to bust into the less makeup world, where some days you don't have to put on a ton of makeup, where some days it's okay to be a little more less coverage, a little less intense with the eyes, just a little less intense in general, because I feel I need to explore that side for you guys, because that's something that you would want to see, that's something you want to know about, that's something everybody needs to kind of delve into at one point or another, whether you're in a hurry or it fits the theme. You don't want to be going to a beach, or not a beach, but a barbecue with a full face and a smoky eye. I mean, okay, I would, but you know what I mean? You sometimes just want to explore the balance a little bit, and so I've been working on that. And I normally would not review a foundation that says light coverage or natural. Those are words that I'm just beep, 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 beep. I go right by those, and I'm hello, full coverage, freaking everything in life. So today's video is a little bit odd for me, but we are going to embrace it together. So I have this brand new foundation that was just released from Clarins. This is their Skin Illusion Tint Natural Hydration with broad spectrum SPF 15 sunscreen. So basically this is a new foundation that's supposed to be something you can wear out in the sun, blah blah blah, but also deliver a really hydrated natural look to the skin. So like I said, I got this from the Ulta website, so let's read a couple specs. You get 1 fluid ounce. It comes in 22 shades. It is $44, and from what I can see of the shade range, it doesn't look like it goes super duper deep, but I also don't have any real life swatches to go off of. I feel nobody's talked about this, and I don't know why. I don't know if Clarins just isn't that big of a brand. I thought they were a big brand, but I don't know. So anyways, the shade range, there's 22 colors. It doesn't look like it goes super deep, but apparently in the beauty community, we only yell at certain companies. So apparently we just don't talk about it when everybody else does it. It's cool, really. Actually, it's bullshit and we should fix it, but moving on. So in the details, it says that this is a hydrating foundation. We already talked about that. It is their first serum foundation that combines the fluidity of pure plant oils with the perfect amount of pigment that lets the skin breathe. This foundation delivers a smooth, flawless, bare skin feel with buildable coverage and 12 hours of impeccable wear. And then a bunch of other crap nobody cares about. Okay, so that's interesting. So they're saying 12 hours. Good. And that it's buildable coverage. So here's my thought process. I already went ahead and primed my face. You guys know that when I do any foundation as of late, I've been priming my face first to give it a chance to really sink into the skin, meld with the pores, and kind of do its thing. So I wanted to switch up the primers a little bit for this, but there's still primers that I've used and know about and all that stuff, but I thought it might be, just a couple different options to throw in the mix. I know that you guys like that, and, different price points, that sort of thing. So on this side of my face, I went in with the Maybelline Baby Skin Pore Eraser, and then on the other side of my face, I went in with the L'Oreal Infallible Mattifying Primer, because I really wanted to get two different feels here. I am oily skinned. If you're new here and you don't know, hello, I'm an oily grease monkey, and I also have a lot of texture. I have old acne scars, some current acne going on, so we're really just working on the overall appearance of the face. So I picked these because I figured this one would address the texture, the smoothing, all of that, but this one would address more of the mattifying and the oil control and whatnot. So I do go ahead and I split these primers right down the center, so they both have a little bit of nose action and then a lot of pore action. So that's what is on my face right there. And then I did go ahead and set all of that with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I love this stuff. I feel it really just helps to press my primer into the skin, and it feels nice and hydrating on the face, but it never leaves me dewy or shiny or greasy or anything like that. It just feels like a nice drink right before I go in with a lot of product. So let's just dive in. Holy hell, I'm excited. Okay, I love foundation reviews. Oh, and let's talk while we do this. I have also obviously not done my brows or anything. Lately, I've been doing a little bit of a different routine as I've been experimenting with different foundations and different coverages and stuff. If I'm doing a less coverage kind of day or a lighter makeup day, I go in and I do my brows last, and I do them with a brow powder instead of a pencil, because I feel it gives a little bit of a soft softer brow for like a softer face of makeup. You know what I mean? I try not to do like really, really harsh brows with a softer face of makeup. On my face, it just looks really unbalanced. So this has just been how I've been doing it. So if you're curious. Now, as far as this foundation, I picked this up in the shade 100.5 Cream, which I think is their lightest shade. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure. Yes, 100.5 Cream, that is their lightest shade. And it looks like they go up, like all of their shades are like 100, 105, 105.5, 106.5. They go up in increments of a number point something. And I think that to me would say that if this goes over well, they're wanting to expand the line, I would imagine. Otherwise, that number system sucks. But let's go ahead and take a little look-see and bring you guys in. Girl, look at this light setup. Look at all my pores. You guys can like see all my business on camera. Hey, what's going on, girl? So this is the foundation right here. The bottle is actually really nice. It feels good and heavy and hefty. I like that the shade, just as like a side note for reference, on the bottom of the bottle is the shade name and the number for the shade. And I like that it's big enough that you can actually read it. What is more annoying than like, I'm sorry, I'm like half asleep, half my life. I feel like I'm like, and then you go through and like they print everything so damn small, like on the bottom of a bottle. And I'm like, what's your secret? What are you hiding down there that you can't make the print just like a little bit bigger for my sad, tired little damn eyes? But that's neither here nor there. So, nice glass bottle. I like this. Now, they did say that it is a serum foundation, which is hence the dropper right here. So, I'm thinking, let's go ahead. I'm going to take a little bit on the back of my hand. Okay. Okay, it's not awful. It's a little bit yellow, but not bad. Like, I think I can definitely work with this. So, I think how I want to do this is, I was going to say, like, I'll apply it right to my face. But I recently did that, and I wrecked a shirt. Oh, my God. Does that smell like cucumber or something? Oh my God, it kind of does. Wait, this smells like another foundation. Hold on. Oh, it's going to bug the shit out of me. I'm going to have to go huff all my foundations. That can't be healthy. Oh, ho, ho, ho. I don't know, but it smells like another one. The scent isn't like super strong. It's not super, super overpowering. It's almost like they tried to, like there was a slight chemical undertone with cucumber, if that makes sense. So it's not super bad. It's not overpowering. It's not a fake smell. It's nothing like this Do You freaking foundation that smells so intensely like watermelon. Nothing like that. Not fake. Nothing, you know, nothing to that effect. So we're just going to go ahead and take some of these droppers on the back of my hand here. And I'm thinking we're just going to apply it. Now I did grab, there we go. Woo, that, yep, dub page. It's a liquid. Good job. Now I'm going to start off applying this with my damp Real Technique sponge, and we're going to see what kind of coverage and all of that we can get and go from there. And then we also can try it with a brush. I'm not sure how I'm going to like it with a brush. I feel like serum foundations on my skin never look that good with a brush just because they're so thin and like more viscous, but we'll check it out. We'll see what the dealio is. So that's like one pass over my face. I don't think, like, you know, again, you're not going to get a ton of coverage, which is okay. Like, we knew that going into it. And we're just kind of playing around right now. I do want to see if it builds up for those of us that might need to build up, like, a little bit of coverage in certain areas. But I don't know. I feel like it's doing a really nice job evening out the skin tone, which is cool. So here is one half done, not done, but it's got like one-ish. I was going to build up in this area a little bit, but I kind of wanted to wait, let everything settle out and see how things looked. So I think I will try a brush on this side, and I think, what brush do I want to use? I think I will go in with this Clarity F27, just any flat top kabuki that you have, and I will still be taking this on the back of my hand. Yet again, I did ruin a shirt the other day trying to like take the dropper and put it directly on my face with a different foundation. So I will not ever do that again. It was my favorite hot pink shirt, like, and it has a giant blotch like right at the top of the V-neck. Like there's no hiding that. And so we're currently oxy cleaning it to try and like make that shit go away, but it's like next to impossible because what foundation was it? My freaking Catrice HD Full Coverage. Like of all the foundations that it could have happened with, that was the worst one. Because that stuff is like no joke. Now, I don't think that this part will pick up on camera, but there is a lot more texture and like drag marks from the brush. I don't think it looks bad necessarily, but I do think you will want to smooth it out with a beauty blender if streaks are something that you deal with. So this is my face. You guys, I actually feel like this looks really, really nice. As always, when I do a foundation review, I kind of like to give you guys different levels. So move the camera out a little bit. This is what the skin looks like. Not bad. Like the coverage is really nice. It doesn't look quite as like dewy and luminous as the Do You did. Like if you guys just watched that video, it would have been up a couple days ago. I can link it right up here. It was the entire Tutti Frutti line from Too Faced. And when I put this foundation on, it gave like a really beautiful, like kind of mildly dewy, luminous look to the skin. This isn't quite to that level, but it does look really natural and healthy. I think that I might be pulling a little bit yellow because I think this is a little yellow undertone, but after we add all of our powders and stuff, I think that that'll help a lot. So for coverage or for concealer, if you will, I'm going to be going in with my Born This Way, and what I'm going to do is use just a lot less than I would normally use. And in my recent video, I kind of made a joke about how like, oh, you know, some people would consider this like a lot of concealer. And I think it's always important to mention that concealer is really specific to the person, just like coverage and the foundation. Like there are so many of you that are like, yeah, I would never even touch this foundation. There's just not enough coverage, and that's okay. And see, honestly, just a little bit of concealer goes such a long way when you're doing like such a light amount of coverage on your face. And I feel like I still look really nice. I still have a decent amount of coverage. Things look balanced, but you can still see like little light like skin undertones or old acne scars. Like you can see them pop through, but I feel like that's okay. Like, I don't know. I think I am on such a journey of trying to figure out like what I like on my face. And some days I want full coverage. I want glam. I want intense. And that's okay. And other days, if I want like a really, really light foundation day, I want to know what works for me. I want to know that I have like a good go-to foundation that I can just like throw on and be good with. And I don't know. Tell me down below. Am I crazy? Because I feel like everybody gets to this point, but it all depends on like where you are in your makeup life, in your makeup journey, in your makeup like happiness. I don't know, because I think that for so many of us, by the way, I'm going to set my concealered areas with my Fit Me in 05 Fair by Maybelline. I love this shit. This is so good. If you're looking for like an affordable setting powder, use this. If you're looking for a setting powder, use this. If you're a millionaire, use this. I don't give a shit. It's so good. But anyways, I feel like there is such a thing right now with like people, and like you have to be comfortable in your own skin. And I think it's so important that we as like a beauty community realize that everyone has different insecurities. So when there are people that like they only want full coverage makeup, like there's a reason. And it's okay that they're not comfortable there yet. Because honestly, there was a day that like I would never, this would have never been good enough for me. I'd be like, I want it caked on. I want a full coverage. I want. And I had to get to a place where I was comfortable in my own skin, and everybody has to get there. So if you're not there yet and you're watching this and you're like, oh, I wish that I could be as comfortable as her, or I wish that my skin looked like that. Like, don't ever wish to be someone else. Work to get yourself there. That is like my favorite thing, my saying. Like, I think about that all the time. Anytime, because I do it too, you guys. I'll look at somebody and I'll be like, that bitch has got some nice like waist on her, like she is a good size. And I look at my life and my brain tumor and like my physicality are not always in my control. So by looking at someone else and like beating myself up because I don't look like them, I don't want to live my life like that. And so to you guys out there, if you're watching me and you're like, oh, I wish I was that comfortable even like on camera or in my skin, or I wish my skin looked like hers, don't feel that way. You have to learn to be comfortable in your own, and through time, through experimenting with different products, through trying different things, you will get there. It's taken me a couple years of wearing makeup. Like I've been wearing it for, I should probably set my face. I've been wearing makeup for how many years now? Like 3 or 4. And in like the last couple, like I'd say the last month, I just got comfortable in my own skin. It takes a long time, or it can take a long time, and that's all right. And I don't know. I don't ever want you guys to think that like it's not okay to be exactly who and what you are in that time frame, because in due time you will get wherever you're supposed to get. Now, I apply that Maybelline powder only to the concealered areas of my face because it's nice and light, and it really helps bring those areas forward, like the under eye, this area, my forehead, that sort of thing. And at this point you do have a couple of different choices, and this is how I always kind of look at it, so I figured I would run like my mental process through with you guys. There's a couple different ways. By the way, there's a loud ass like farm tractor outside right now. I wish I knew what it was doing, but it's so loud. I don't know. I never know how stuff is going to pick up with this new mic. Like, it's weird. But anyways, just so you know, that's going on. So if you can hear it, it's not like I have a tractor like in my room. It just sounds like I have a tractor in my room, which so cute. So welcome to Northern Michigan. As far as the like way that I kind of bust down the rest of my face, the rest of my face is normally where I need the most coverage. So like right through here, I get cystic acne along my jawline. I have all that acne scarring here. And then I also get acne like sometimes on the like outer perimeters of my forehead. So I kind of break it down by like a MAC Fix Plus or a MAC Studio Fix kind of powder. You can go in, add that if you need to add in like some color, or if I need to add in like a tiny bit more coverage, I will set my face with that, and I feel like that is a beautiful finish. I've been really, really loving that powder. You can take this Fit Me if you're light enough, or they do make other colors of this. You can go in with this powder and kind of powder the rest of your face. That has a beautiful look to the skin. I really love my Airspun powder. This is the extra coverage, but they make this in different colors and shades and all kinds of different stuff. So you can use this as well. Those are like my 3 go-to powders. And which one do I want to use today? You know what, you guys? I'm actually feeling like really, you can see like a plume of this powder just now. But I'm feeling really good about my coverage and my face today. I don't know. I'm feeling it. So I'm not going to like continue to cover it up. I am going to go in with my Airspun though, because it is a little bit darker. And I don't want to, you know, do my whole face in the other powder and have the whole face look really, really white. So I'm going to go in, you know, pastier than I already am because I'm a pasty bitch. And I'm going to take this. Where's my brush here? I'm going to take this on my 618 Kokie Cosmetics brush. It's like a small little brush moment right here, and I'm just going to take a little bit of this. I'm not going to go in and like really hit my face. I'm tapping off all the extra back into the lid, which is a fuck ton. Hello. I'm going to work and press this into the other areas of my face that I did not already set. Now it's important when you're doing this step to make sure that you're really pressing the powder in. You can use a damp sponge. You can use whatever works for you. I often do use a damp sponge. As of late, I've been just trying to play around with different textures and really see what works for my skin, which is why I'm using a brush right now. But the damp beauty blender also works. It does not matter. Totally your personal preference. A lot of people feel like if they set it with the sponge, they get too much powder on their face, so they prefer the brush. A lot of people feel the exact opposite. It really is all about how much you press, how much you pick up, how mindful you are about like tapping it off, that kind of stuff. So just be mindful. Okay guys, I wanted to bring you in one last time, take a good look at my face before I run off and do the rest of it. I feel like my face is at like a beautiful level of texture. It looks nice. It doesn't look like overly mattified. It doesn't look chalky, dusty, cakey. Like it just looks really, really nice on my skin. The coverage is like nice and moderate. You can still see little things poking through, but I always do remind you guys that as you add like the rest of your layers and powders and stuff like that, you are going to get a little bit more residual coverage from those things. So don't ever be like super worried. Like it's not a what you see is what you get, because as you build layers, you will build coverage too. So something to always keep in mind. But for me right now, I actually think that this looks really beautiful. Another thing that I like to tell people if you're new here, my sweet spot for foundation is not right now. It's not when I set my face. My sweet spot for foundation is like 2 to 3 hours after I'm done with my foundation routine. So right now, for it being this stage in the game, looking this good, I'm pretty impressed. Like, I really like it. You guys can tell me what you think down below at like the different stages, but I'm going to run off of camera, finish up my face, super basic makeup today, and I will be right back. All right, guys. So I went ahead, finished up the rest of my face, and just real quick to kind of run through what is on my face. So in the brows, I did tell you guys that I do like a brow powder. This is the IT Cosmetics brow powder. This is in the shade Universal Transforming Taupe. And I have to say, like, I was really curious as to if this would actually work. I'm like, Universal my ass. But it's actually a really nice color. I like to take this color and put it like mainly through my brows, because when I do like a natural kind of makeup, I like them to look lighter and, you know, it's like a little bit more subdued than they normally are, if you will, like a little bit less sharp. I said that already, but just to reiterate. And then just to define like the outer tail and a little bit on the inside, a little bit, I did take the Tarte waterproof clay pencil in the shade medium brown, and I only use this because my hair and like hair follicles where my brows are, you guys know this if you've you've been watching me for a while, I have no brow hair, and it's not like I pluck or tweeze or do anything too much. My brow hair just, it grows everywhere but in the brow. So like my follicles right there, sometimes it's difficult to like get powder to stay. So sometimes if it won't stick or for whatever reason it's just being a little asshole, I do have to go in with a pencil, which I did just a little bit today. And then for the face, I actually did the majority of it with this little guy right here. This is the Becca Be a Light palette, or Be the Light, Be a Light, Be a Light. And I went in with this bronzer right here. I'm working with this. This is actually, I got this from Influencer, and if you don't know what they are, I did a full video talking about Influencer. I will link it up here, but basically not sponsored, obviously, but they're like a company that they send out free stuff. You can try it, review it. There's a lot of good, and there's definitely a lot of like bad or otherwise unnerving things about them, but I do have a video, and then if you're curious, you want to sign up, whatever, my link is down in the description, and you can like follow me and look at my reviews and stuff like that on there, which is kind of cool. So I use this palette, which I did get from them, so full disclosure, I didn't like pay for this. I did use this bronzer right here. It's a little bit warm toned for me, but I do think overall it ended up looking nice. I mixed it with this lighter powder, and then I reshaped my face with this powder, and then I used this blush. So I actually was able to get a lot of use out of it. So, I mean, as far as like a palette, I'm not like reviewing it on here, but just so you guys know, that is what I used. Overall, I think it looks really nice. I just wish that that bronzer wasn't so warm. Ugh. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me down below. Thoughts, comments, opinions? Then for highlight, which you guys know, like I'm a highlight queen, I'm obsessed with highlight. I went in with the MAC Soft and Gentle on the cheeks, and then just on like the tiny tips of the cheeks, I went in with my Ofra Nikki Tutorial Glazed Donut, just a little bit to add like that super high point. I love doing that because it just adds like that extra of definition. And then on the eyes, I just took the bronzer that was in that palette, ran it into the crease. I put a little shimmer stick, the Laura Mercier shimmer stick, which I also got in my last influencer box, and then a little bit of highlight over top. So like this look is a very like quick go-to, like just fast. That's my whole thing. And then on the lips, I went in with this M Cosmetics. This is Truffle Haze. That's their new gloss, but it's an interesting formula. But this is the M Cosmetics gloss. All right, so I brought you guys in just a little bit in the morning, right after I apply everything, because I'm not into that sweet spot yet. I don't like to bring you guys in like super far, but I do like to bring you in just a little bit. It's not so much for the color aspect, it's more for the texture. Right now I actually feel like my face is in a very interesting spot. It does have some emphasized texture on both sides, but what I'm really liking about this foundation is the finish. It looks really nice and fresh. And like, it's not smooth in texture, but like the overall color and like the tone of my skin is very smooth, which I really love. But anyways, you guys, I'm going to run. I'm going to go do my day. I will stop back on at the end of the day. We're going to do the obnoxious close-up that I'm so like known and loved for. I love that you guys love to get so up close to my face. Makes me really like love and appreciate every single one of you. I kind of feel like we've bonded over the obnoxiousness of my texture. It's a good feeling. So I'm going to go. I will check back on at the end. I will stutter a little bit, and we will see how this bad boy wears. All right, you guys, it has been 10 frickin' hours. It is the end of the day, and I am so excited to wrap up this video with you guys and go through some thoughts. So I just looked at myself in the mirror for the first time in about 3-ish hours. And as you know, or if you're new to my channel, anytime I do a foundation review, I kind of check in with myself throughout the day, like every hour to 2 hours, and I look at various things, you know, my texture, the mattification, or, you know, the opposite oils. Are they coming through? What do my pores look like? How is it wearing? Is it oxidizing? How are my other products setting on top of it? That type of stuff. And those are the things that I kind of chronicle in my brain throughout the day, and I make little mental timestamps, if you will. And then that way, when I report back to you guys, it helps really condense the video, and I can just say, look, at like roughly this many hours, this is what happened, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and kind of start there with what I noticed. Now, I know that this morning, one of the things I kept talking about was that I felt like this foundation didn't look the best over my textured areas, and my issue is that that's still kind of accurate. It did get a little bit better. Actually, let me rephrase. It got a lot of bit better. At the beginning of the day, I would say right around hour 2 to 3, right in that range, I really hit my sweet spot, and things looked actually very nice and just silky, and it just looked very smooth. And then as the day progressed, right right around hour 6, I noticed that the foundation started to turn a little bit more textured, and then now obviously at hour 10, I think it's fair to say that we have a lot of texture kind of peeking back up in these areas again. We have a little bit on my forehead, but overall, the only real area where I'm like, yes, that's troublesome, if you will, is like right here. And that's, I've noticed I always get breakage on my upper lip. Always, like without fail. It does not matter what type of foundation I'm wearing, how much, if I have concealer, no concealer, it never matters. I always get breakage right in here. I always get a little bit right here, like at the dip in my chin, and normally around the sides of my nose. And then of course we all know, if you're new to my channel, this guy right here, as you'll see in the close-up, see that? That's the Hulk line. That is the Hulk. He eats foundation. He eats anything he can get his hands on. Like, he just goes in for the kill. So we always kind of inspect the Hulk. I usually have a little texture on my forehead. And as far as like an overall for this foundation, we're gonna get to that in a second. One thing that really surprised me with this is anytime I'm doing a foundation review, I love to like put up like just a picture of me wearing it like on Instagram or whatever, and then it's kind of like a teaser for you guys, but you don't know what foundation it is, so no one can like judge it. And what I thought was so cool is that when I put this one up today, you guys actually really responded to it, like you really loved the overall fresh face look to it. And one of you even asked me, like, what are you wearing? It looks like particularly nice. And I was so impressed with how beautiful this foundation photographed. Oh man, my necklace is crooked and shit. Evidently the littlest things distract me, but I was really impressed with how just smoothing this looked on camera. Even if in real life it had like little textured areas here and there, on camera it just looked fantastic and like flawless no matter what. And it really accepted like bronzer, blush, and highlight so well. Like, I mean, it's the end of the day, 10 hours, and like my skin still looks really nice and bronzy. And I did go overboard on my bronzer today. I'm not gonna lie to you about it, you guys. I was like one moment away from like calling Bronzers Anonymous and being like, yes, I look like a fake baked pumpkin queen and I need your help. Like, I was almost there. Like this morning, I don't know what happened to me. I was just like, bronzer, hey. Like, I just was going for it. And God love my mother. She's like, honey, are you just like a little bit like tan, but like not tan? And I was like, if by tan you mean like I love bronzer, then probably. And she's like, yeah, I can tell. And I just really did have like a more bronzed appearance to my skin. So okay, now that we got the texture portion out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about oil. Holy shit, you guys, so impressed with the oil. Really held off oil. I did not blot at all today. I am just now starting to have oil, like significant oil on my nose. My chin is just now starting to feel a little oily in here, little oil here, and like a tiny bit of oil in my forehead, but like nothing crazy. Nothing has like started sloughing off. Nothing is like peeling off my face. The planes of my face still feel really nice. Shit, I forgot to turn the AC off. I'm sorry, you guys. One of these days, I'll get better. You guys, half of you say you can't hear it, and half of you it bugs the shit out of, so I just always apologize in the hopes that, like, no one will hate me for it. But here's my thing. The oil, I did not expect. I actually thought that I was going to have a way more difficult time controlling the oil with this one, because it said like soft and hydrating and natural, and like these are words when you have oily skin that are just like, Mayday, Will Robinson, like get the hell out of here. You are in a burning ass building. And for this one, it just, there was something really beautiful about this foundation. I'm going to stop talking for 1 second and I'm going to bring you guys in. I really want you to see the close-up because I think that you will be impressed. So over through here, you can see, like, look at how smooth everything is on my face, looking so pretty and like nice. And you can see the little bit of texture that's kind of popping up through here, but it's not bad overall. And then if you smooth to this side, same situation. You can see the little bit of breakage I have, like I said, going on right here. For some reason, my nose looks really bronzered right now on camera. Don't know why. Sorry about that. But you can see really the only like breakage I have is right here and a little bit here. A little bit in this area. We have a slight settling into these smile lines. And then the Hulk, he got kind of hungry, but like nothing too bad. And then all of the little mini Hulks through here aren't even that bad. Like overall, I'm just really impressed with how smooth like the planes of my face look. I mean, you guys can tell me, like, this new lighting setup, I feel like it really does give us a really nice representation for texture and color and discoloration and things like that. And I'm so freaking impressed with this foundation. I actually, like, okay. full disclosure, I did not think I would like it. I didn't think I'd recommend it. I thought for sure this was going to be like a shit show. I'm not going to lie. I thought it would hit hour 4 and I'd be like, okay, this was a bad idea. And what I ended up finding out is that I need to just shut up and I will 100% wear this again. This stuff is so good. Now, the only thing other than the breakage that I wasn't like, I did have a little bit of an issue with, I did notice that it oxidized a tiny, tiny bit. I would say to like maybe a half to 1 shade darker for me, and that's with taking into consideration the fact that I did overly bronze a little bit today. I still did notice that my face up in these areas, like on my jawline in the middle of my forehead, those areas that were the true foundation color still, those turned a little bit deeper. So I would have to definitely account for that and use a different powder perhaps or something to that effect. But as far as, I mean, coverage, given that they said it was like buildable to medium, I didn't even think I'd get this much coverage. So coverage I am fine with for more of like a natural looking. I feel like this would be a very versatile foundation. This is where like you all better just like hang back and like take your earrings out and like relax for a second, because you guys love my reviews and the fact that I'm like so detailed. So girl, here's your details. So reasons I love it. Number 1, I think it lasts really beautiful. It was like 85 freaking god awful degrees today and I was like seizuring. I was like, ugh, not enjoying my life, and it really lasted so nicely in the humidity, and like it lasted better than my sanity did today, and that is a fucking accomplishment. So that was a big plus. I really like the coverage on this. I feel like the coverage for me is what makes it the most versatile. Meaning some people like a lighter, more sheer kind of coverage. I think honestly that it could work for you if you like a lighter coverage, because this one really was a nice amount of like tone evening, and then as you build it up on your skin, it does work to cover the more like deeper colored impurities and stuff like that, which I think is really nice because it, again, it's more versatile for different people and their aesthetics, or even if you're the type of person that, you know, some days you just like a little more coverage than other days, this is going to be that foundation for you. You can wear it on a more natural day, which for me is kind of today. This is like a more natural look for me. Or you'd be able to build it up a little bit more. You're not going to get a ton of building out of it, but you'll get a little bit, and it'll help you get to that, you know, slightly more polished stage that some people really like. And I think it also make a really nice mix-in foundation as well, because it has a nice level of luminosity to it. It's not too matte. It's not too luminous. It's like a very natural satin type finish where it really does set you in that sweet spot. You'd be able to mix it with a more mattifying foundation to go that route, or you could mix it with a more, you know, dewy luminous foundation and take it in that direction. And I think either way it would have that fluidity with it that it could just go in any direction. I actually am really impressed. I think that this foundation could go very far as so many fars in there, but I think it could go a long way as far as the different types of skin that it's good with, whether it be oily combination, that sort of thing. I have obviously very, very oily skin, as we can see in this damn T-zone, and I actually would recommend it. I mean, you're not going to get, it said 12 hours on the website. I actually think that that is completely acceptable because, again, we're at 10 hours right now, and I would wear this for another 2 hours easy. I do think that this would also touch up really nicely if that's something that you struggle with. I think you'd be able to build a powder foundation on top of it. Also very key. And if you're a dry skin kind of, you know, if you've got the dry skin happening or like on that side of it, I actually think that this would work as well. It doesn't carry, like I said this morning, and I, you know, just to recap that part of it a little bit, I don't think that it carries with it as much luminosity as the Do You foundation or the Light Illusion foundation from Flower Beauty or any of those. But I do think that this is a beautiful natural sheen for someone, maybe if you're combination skin, so you struggle with like finding that teeter balance between dry skin over here but oily skin over here. It might be a nice foundation for you to try because I think it could complement and give you the best of both worlds. Okay guys, I think that that's everything. I'm pretty sure I got it all in there. You guys can definitely let me know what you guys think down below. So many of you have already noticed how beautiful this was, so I'm hoping that you guys respond to it. I'm impressed. Again, not buildable to full coverage, but like for the coverage I did get out of it and going into it with like the right mindset, I think that that was key for this one, because you can't go into this thinking full coverage, full coverage, full coverage, but you go into it with like that natural kind of feel, and I really don't think you'll be disappointed. And it did also say, side note, on the description on the Ulta website, it said that it's a very breathable foundation. I also do agree with that. I feel like there was nothing on my face today. My face, even though it had like all the same products on top of my foundation, there was a quality to it that did feel very light and easy, and like I didn't need to care so much, and like I just didn't feel like my face was like plaster of Paris, like cracking off. You know how sometimes you wear foundation and when you smile you can like feel it like crunch 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 crunch. I didn't feel that with this one. It was very nice and light on my skin, but it didn't slough off, it didn't move around, and all the products really did stay put. Like I'm very impressed. You guys can tell me down below, what do you think? You guys have seen it up close from this morning to now. What do you think? Good, not good? Give me the good, the bad, the ugly down below. Let me know if you are looking at it, thinking about it, all the deets. And I just love to hear from you guys so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and for watching this and for always being interested in whatever the hell I choose to say when I turn on the camera, because you guys are fantastic. So thank you again so much. Please don't forget, all of my social media is down in the description box. So if you like to see the sneak peeks and the behind the scenes and the cute, animals that I post on my Instagram, let's be honest, there's a lot. You can definitely follow me on Instagram and all of that. Again, it's all down there, mainly on Instagram and Twitter. But those are just like, if you want those sneak peeks behind the scene kind of thing, go check them out. If not, that's fine too. I'm not gonna hate you for it. I just really think that you should go follow me there, because I have almost 1,000 followers on Instagram, and it's kind of a big deal to me. And I don't understand, why you wouldn't want to, but you should, because look at all this. By the way, also, can we talk about how cute my hair looks today? I don't think it's gonna do me justice, but I'm kind of impressed. I did these cute little, maybe I should get closer. Oh, I just stubbed my toe. But if you do one of these, right, I have this cute little braid on both sides. And then I took this part and I wrapped it up under. Oh, shit. Yep, I saw that happening. Okay, that didn't go so well. But anyways, you guys, tell me what you think. I can't wait to hear from you. And I think that is it. So please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this. And I'll see you in the next one. Clarins Skin Illusion Foundation. It was so much better than I expected. I still look so damn pretty. I think that's my mustache. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Oh, y'all bitches are looking at me. Boing, boing, boing. Oh, so many cords. You think I can see the viewfinder? Ain't happening. Check, 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 check it out. Check, 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 check it out. Okay, guys, it is the end of the day. I have been, oh wait, fuck. And then just to define the tail portion, a tiny, tiny pit, because I do have what? I think it's fair to say that we do have a lot of texture peeking back up. So, okay, you know what? Actually, yes, let's go ahead. Oh wait, no, stop. Pause. I cannot make up my mind.